conform to what CBSE wants them to do in terms of assessment. And I think we all as school leaders and teachers, we have to understand that there is a national perspective to assessment, and then there is an institutional perspective to assessment. And we should not really confuse between these two things. So, for example, a good institute would actually have contextualized assessment based on the needs of their students. However, while implementing a method, innovative techniques, they also need to prepare students for the standardized exams, whether it is the board exam or now in the future, whether it's the CUET exam for higher education. So just because CUET has been introduced doesn't mean that the class 4 child and the class 8 child also has to be assessed in the manner that CUET is assessing. So I think in our minds, we need to first create these two, we need to segregate these two things. And we can't do everything based on what CBSE blueprint says or CUET format says. I think that's very important. Only then we will be able to bring out some innovations in school assessment. Otherwise, we'll not do that. Otherwise, we'll not be able to do that. So with that, sir, I'll want you to give some opening remarks for this.
Yeah. See, basically, I agree on one thing, that this kind of an institutionalized model of the authority flowing from the top, like an assessment model coming all the way from either NCERT or CBSE to that, they are basically recommendatory in nature, right? So you will have to contextualize it to your own needs. And the country can flourish only when there's a reverse osmosis that takes place, that the board and the organizations will learn what happens on the ground realities in the school, and they would like to pick up experiences from them and contextualize it for a national perspective. I think this idea of, we normally call it what you call the single model that across the country will not work, number one. Number two, even when it comes to assessment, basically the assessment models that are prescribed from the top level are more linear in nature. And therefore, this linearity in assessment really, fails to evaluate the multiple dimensions of the skills and knowledge perspectives the students have, which can be examined only in context by the schools. I think time has come that we develop models at the school level and then start exchanging it across, so that the authorities come to know that there are different perspectives of assessment, and the trust in the system to the teachers and schools to assess the children is given. I think Kothari Commission very well said, nobody is more competent to assess the child except the classroom teacher. Right? I think that's what it should go.
And I think that's where we need to focus on. Let me bring in